They're mainly focusing on what the United States government did on requesting Gibraltar to keep seizing the oil tanker and not let it go, and it was finally freed. Well, actually, there have been issues such as mentioning that Iran has committed itself to not selling oil to Syria, which has come up as an issue. But Iranian officials, especially Foreign Minister Zarif, today released a letter sent from Mr. Nejad, the ambassador of Iran in London, sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of England, stating that Iran is not accepting any sanctions set by the European Union for non-member countries. Also stating that Grace 1 was never meant to go to Syria.
Are the authorities giving any indication of what's most likely to happen to the UK oil tanker that's been seized in Hormuz?
Well, basically, the question was asked yesterday from an official in the Ports and Maritime Organization of Iran, and it was stated that because the British oil tanker had violated three main rules of like turning off its GPS and entering Iranian national waters and not paying attention to the warnings being given, it has been seized. And it wasn't just the case, what happened to Grace 1. So they're saying that the judiciary system of Iran needs to decide on that. However, it's believed that there is going to be a kind of cooperation, maybe between Iran and England after the release of Grace 1.
Euronews' Vincent McAviney is in London. He tells us the UK doesn't want to increase further tensions with Iran.
This was a test for the new Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his new Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab. At the moment, the government statement from the Foreign Office says that the UK notes the conclusion of Gibraltar's legal proceedings and the steps taken. They now expect that the ship will not go to Syria as promised. And there's a key line here. They say there is no comparison or linkage between Iran's unacceptable and illegal seizure of and attacks on commercial shipping vessels and maintaining EU sanctions on Syria with regard to this ship that was impounded. So the British government trying to make clear that it doesn't want an escalation of these matters. It wants its ship, flag-carrying ship, the Stena Imperio, to now be released. It has been a bit of a diplomatic chess game for the last couple of weeks. What's not clear now is whether that will happen, and also how much coordination was going on with the US with this apparent late bid by them to keep the Grace 1 impounded in Gibraltar yesterday. It's not clear where that came from, if it was going to be discussed. We're all watching to see how different Boris Johnson is when it comes to Iran to his predecessor Theresa May. At the moment, he's saying he will stay in the JCPOA nuclear deal arranged by Barack Obama and allies, and that Donald Trump has pulled out of and is putting pressure on other countries to do so. For now, Britain is sticking with Europe on that front, but Britain has decided to break away from Europe and go into the US maritime security force that is in the Strait of Hormuz, rather than the European one that was possibly being organized and that Germany is still quite keen on. So for the moment, Britain is sticking with its main Iran policy, the JCPOA, but this has been a test to see how closely we will tack towards America as Boris Johnson tries to please Donald Trump in trying to get a closer alliance, a trade deal going with America. How far will he use Britain's military and influence to help with that going along?